Yo, what up, everybody? I'm your host, JP Goldstein. Welcome to 3 Count Reviews podcast for the latest news in WWE, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, ROH, and so on. So this is episode 1. Thank you for being a part of the first episode. Much appreciated. You can follow me on Twitter at 3 Count Reviews. And, let's get right into it. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about, Becky Lynch and AEW, as well as the WrestleMania picture coming up and how things have changed. I wouldn't say super dramatically or anything, but just how they've changed in pretty much what feels like just a week, maybe even 2 weeks. And that, has to do with, this whole angle, let's get, with Becky Lynch, let's get into it. Obviously WWE always has a storyline that they're trying to play with. And, they're always trying to one up, it seems like, their critics and surprise the crowd and do unexpected things. And sometimes they work. And many other times they do not work. And I didn't know what to think at the start of what they were doing with Becky Lynch's storyline. Having her being pulled out of WrestleMania for no reason, and then Vince McMahon inserting Charlotte Flair into the picture. I mean, I get that there's a story they're trying to build from this, and instead of just Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey, main eventing WrestleMania, now we have a triple threat with the top 3 women in the company, in the entire company, including NXT UK and whatnot. So, which I would agree that would make for an amazing match, and it would be definitely, a moneymaker, but I just didn't really agree or like how they started this direction, and Vince McMahon just all of a sudden switching the girls out and going with Charlotte against Ronda. And yeah, I know there's a story coming from it, like I said, but I just didn't like how it was beginning. Now that they're developing it a little bit more, I'm still kind of about it. Certain things don't add up. I think it was said over on Wrestle Talk, you have Becky Lynch, hobbling out on these crutches at, Elimination Chamber, and yet she's supposed to have a suspension going on. So it's like, where's security? And security, really, security, did she beat you guys with crutches before she came out, through the crowd and whatnot? I will admit that Becky walking out did build her well with the crowd. They were receiving it as she got closer and closer, and then finally came through to the ring, which was a bit of a struggle, but it seemed like the crowd was really behind her, and not making fun of the moment, at least from what I could tell. And then, Becky Lynch beats up Charlotte and Ronda, with the crutches at Elimination Chamber, and which was I know it was all part of storyline, but that had to hurt. Oh my goodness. And so obviously the story progresses over, to Monday Night Raw and whatnot. You see the welts on Ronda Rousey and the next night or I believe that night, I can't remember, on Charlotte Flair. And I can see what they're trying to build to and have this ultimate triple threat main event match at WrestleMania. And when I say main event, all the matches are considered main event matches because it's WrestleMania. So to even be on the card at WrestleMania is considered a main event match. But this match, is reported that it would be the main event the last match of the night, and well deserved. It's about time. And I don't know. I feel like maybe there could have been a different direction, a little bit in storyline. I mean, I listen to Wrestle Talk News all the time. Shout out to Ollie Luke and Lori. Those guys, they have built something super amazing. But at the same time, their opinions, sometimes I disagree. Most of the time, I find myself agreeing. But the times that I disagree, it's not even, dramatic. It's just like little minor things like, oh, they didn't like this match, but I did, but they always make a point of saying, the writing and the booking, the writing and the booking, the writing and the booking. And that, to me, is a huge problem. And I feel like has been a continuous problem for Raw and SmackDown for a very long time. WWE, their third global brand, NXT, their booking is amazing, in comparison. And it's just, sometimes I find myself watching NXT or wanting to watch NXT way more than Raw or SmackDown, simply because of the fact that I am just finding myself enjoying the matches more and the storylines more and the depth of the characters more. I feel like on Raw and SmackDown, they feel like they have to do this and do that they leave out essential things. Like, you don't have to feature the same people every week. And you have so many people on your roster, especially on the men's side alone, that you don't need to show everyone every week. And yet WWE feels like they have to ram everyone down our throats, and just kidding. But it's just, I don't know. I don't know. But, that's just my take with the Becky Lynch thing. Becky Lynch is the man. I love Becky, let me know what you guys think. Hit me up on Twitter or whatnot, and let me know what you guys think about this whole storyline with Becky and Ronda and Charlotte. I mean, I get it. You're trying to take the heat off of, everybody's cheering for Becky, and then everybody's booing Ronda, and so you're trying to take that heat off of Ronda and put it onto Charlotte for being a part of this match. And I see it working, but I also see that it's only working so much to where I feel like this could really reverse. And, the fans, will just boo Ronda outright because all they care about is the man, Becky Lynch. And that's all I care about, you know what I mean? Let's keep it real. I love Charlotte, I love Ronda, I'm happy Ronda's here, but if we're talking storyline-wise, and if we're talking like, a talent truly getting over, or so organically, just changing up your whole character, out of nowhere, because you're pissed about where you are and this and that, the Stone Cold treatment, as they've been calling it, she is the man, because, and not even just like in the storyline, but in IRL, in real life, she's the man. Because to be able to do this switch and do it with seems like such ease and grace going into the character, hats off to you, Becky. So, like I said, let me know what you guys think, about the storyline so far and going into Fastlane coming up, as well as, obviously WrestleMania. But yeah, just tweet me 3-count reviews, let me know, let's get the discussion going. But let's, head on over to our next topic. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the women's tag team championships. I don't really have a lot to say. The match was fun. The later half of it was better. I am super proud of Sasha and Bayley. Boston Hug Connection, I support you guys 110%. I'm with the many diehard fans that agree you guys got shafted. Coming from NXT, to the main roster, I felt, I don't know, I just feel like, you both got to be a part of amazing first times, amazing firsts. But everyone can agree that you guys were very underutilized, and at a lot of the times it was almost like WWE is character botching. And to have you two win the titles is well deserved, long overdue, especially in the sense that we should have had more titles for the women's division. I really hate at this. Let me just say it this way. At the start of this brand split, I did not like, I got excited because of the ideas that could come out of it, but overall I was not a fan of all of these titles. And that I felt that if you were a champion within WWE, that you should be competing across all brands, not just one. Because if you're the champion in the company, you're the man, you're the woman. You're the man, Becky Lynch. Like, you know what I mean? It just never appealed to me to have Raw tag team titles and Raw, SmackDown tag team titles. You know what I mean? Like, why, if you're gonna have people on the show every freaking week, why not have the champions on the show? If that's what you're going to do. And then have contenders cycling around that. Instead, you're just recycling the same thing. I hate to keep referencing and name dropping, Wrestle Talk, but Control C, Control V, ha ha. You know what I mean? Like, it's so funny, but it's so true. And when they point it out, I see it myself, and it's like I already knew it was, these things were there, but now that I notice it so much more, I'm just like, dang, because of my family, I grew up in the film and TV industry. Because of myself, I worked in the film and TV. I still do, and I don't know, just production and quality. I'm just like, come on. I'm a choreographer, dancer, you know what I mean? Hip hop, street dance, whatever. That's what I do. But I have long time experience and I know this stuff. Like, furthermore, for the record, dear Seth Rollins, if you are hearing this by any chance, I swear on everything on this earth, if you do not punch that beat in the intro of your song when you come out on time, I'm going to throw my shoe at you. Naomi, if you do not let me choreograph this intro for you, for your Glow intro, I'm throwing my shoe. Get it together. Be on time with your music. Naomi, you're a dancer. You should know better. I love you. Seth Rollins, I love you. But you both should know better. Every time, Seth, you would hit that beat, you would punch it right on time. Gold. Even the crowd would feel it because they'd be like, he hit it. Yeah. Look, I'm sorry. You can't burn it down if you don't hit the building on time to your own music. Moving on. So, I totally went on a tangent, but ultimately to Sasha and Bayley, congratulations, well deserved. My only gripe about the whole situation, not even the match, nothing about that, not even how we came into the teams competing. My only gripe was how telegraphed it was that these girls would be getting the titles. And maybe for a second, I thought that they would give it to Tamina and Nia, just because, the idea of having heels start with the titles first makes sense. But I still knew that Sasha and Bayley would walk away with the titles because ultimately, sorry, my dogs are going off in the background. Ultimately, they deserved it because of how much they got shafted. So that's my take on it. That's my take on the titles. I'm happy the titles are not brand specific, and they, what I'm so happy about is that it was said this last Monday that the titles will be competed against Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, which is what the fans have been, at least the true diehard fans have been asking for, and not asking for like, oh please, but asking for like, duh. Well, why wouldn't you do that? You know what I mean? So that's my take. Next topic. So let's talk about the road to WrestleMania and how the complexion of it has turned, literally within 6 days. And most of that has to do, I would say, with Kofi Kingston. Shout out Kofi Kingston completely destroying, that match before Elimination Chamber where he took place of Mustafa Ali, because Mustafa Ali finally, got the busted eye, looked like a balloon coming out of it. And then because of that, he had other injuries that he had sustained, and WWE felt like, they needed to pull him out of that 6-man match, or the gauntlet match. So they insert Kofi. Kofi kills it, as because Kofi's Kofi. I mean, if you know Kofi, he kills it no matter what. This dude is hands down, in my opinion, one of the best in the company, who is often underutilized, even though he does get a lot of notoriety and face time in certain ways. But he killed it, went on to Elimination Chamber, killed it, lost the match to Daniel Bryan. New Day's hugging him after with the WrestleMania sign hanging overhead. And then they have the match this past Monday, or Tuesday, I'm sorry, on SmackDown. And Kofi, pins Daniel Bryan. So Shane comes out, and the crowd is just going nuts all night for Kofi, all night, before the match, during the match, just like, it's electric. Literally, not to sound so WWE about it, but it is electric that the response the crowd is giving him and how loud it is. So he pins Daniel Bryan. Shane comes out and says that there will be a WWE match, or heavyweight championship match, at Fastlane with Kofi versus Daniel Bryan. Cool. That's dope. How do we get Kofi to WrestleMania is my question. Let me know. Hit me up on Twitter. Message me here. Anchor.fm 3Count Reviews. I'll try to get this show also available on iTunes or Spotify soon. This is my first episode, so welcome. Thank you for being here. But how do we get Kofi to WrestleMania? From here, he's competing at Fastlane. How do we get him to WrestleMania? I am not really too sure, to be honest with you. Kofi could lose the match, obviously. And in such a way, because Daniel Bryan has been such a great heel, that maybe he screws Kofi. Distraction from Eric Rowan. Or maybe WWE pulls one out of their, ass, and Kofi actually wins it, steals it. I don't know or think that will happen, because that's pretty major to do that. And then the idea that WrestleMania, Daniel Bryan would just win it back, really would, in my eyes, would just put Kofi back down. So the only way I feel like, if to get Kofi to WrestleMania, at least that I see right now, my mind could expand on it, and most likely will expand on it over the next couple of days. But is for Kofi to lose at Fastlane somehow, most likely be screwed in the process, and which inclines, you know, the Shane McMahon or whoever to make it official at WrestleMania. Eric Rowan is banned from ringside. Maybe, you know, because Kofi is such a performer, Daniel Bryan is such a performer, maybe make it, you know, a steel cage match for the title, make it a ladder match for the title. You know, there's still quite a bit of time between now and WrestleMania, so who knows? But that's kind of, you know, it's kind of all I see right now. Honestly, I'm really hoping they give the title to Kofi. I don't know if that was the plan, to put the title on Mustafa Ali. I mean, I wouldn't have been against it, to be honest with you. I'm sure many people might disagree with that. Many people might agree with it. Who knows? I really, really like Mustafa Ali. And to be honest with you, especially with his cultural background, it would be absolutely amazing, especially in this time that we're in, to put the title on him. But I don't know if that was the plan, storyline-wise. You know, he is young, newer in the company. I mean, they've done it before, but with his character, I'm not sure if that's something that they wanted yet. So who knows? But I would say for Kofi, it's been 11 years. He's been in the mid-card scene forever. Give him the title. Let him have a run, you know. Make Daniel Bryan chase back for it. Make Daniel Bryan mess with other champions, you know what I mean? Let Daniel Bryan do something else. You know, he doesn't have to be the world champion. You know, I don't want Daniel Bryan to go into the mid-card. You know, you could give Daniel Bryan, you know, the United States Championship, but still mess with, you know, Kofi or whoever the world champion. I don't know. I'm just saying, you know. Let me know what you guys think, you know. But Kofi deserves it. And I don't want it to be one of those things where Kofi just wears it for 5 seconds and that's it. That does nothing for him. You know? What if you only give him one time with the title? Okay, whatever. But you give him like 6 to 9 months, maybe a year. And you bring in some legit challengers. And Kofi defeats them. You know, and then maybe cap it off at next year's WrestleMania, where he sustains an injury. You use the storyline that, you know, he's not done, he's not old, he's not out, but he has been around for so long. There's an injury he's been putting off, and you know, he goes through a match, something happens, and it plays off at WrestleMania, and he you know, can't go on. I don't know. By that time, we should have SmackDown on Fox Sports. Fox. If you didn't know, SmackDown Live is moving to Fox on Fridays. The reason being is, you know, money, obviously, but Fox wants a more sports-like treatment, wants to see a more sports-like treatment. I mean, I'm one of the fans who've been asking for it many times, you know, why can't we see an actual sports-looking WWE? Like, I know it's sports entertainment, but the whole, like, yeah, people want to be entertained and you guys will still do it, but everybody want it to feel like this is on ESPN, like this is on Fox Sports. You know what I mean? Like, we want it to feel like it actually means something, not like it's a freaking circus all the time. And yeah, it's better than how it used to be, but you guys still circus a lot of the content and a lot of your booking and writing. So, you know, hey, calm down over there. I think my dog's got an opinion on it too. You know, I don't think they agree either. Butter, Chewy, what do you guys think? Huh? They're both looking at me like, no. Calm down. Hey, I'm talking over here. Yeah. So, you know, let me know what you guys think. What's your opinion on everything, you know, that we've been talking about? But specifically, how do we get Kofi to WrestleMania? Where do we go from here? How will, Becky Lynch's storyline play out? You know, with Charlotte and Ronda Rousey. I believe that, you know, Becky. Wow, I believe that Becky. No, I believe that Becky will be champion come WrestleMania. But just how do we get there? And that's usually been the biggest problem for WWE is how do we get there, WWE? How does the story make sense? Or how can we make the story make sense, WWE? Because half the time, it never does, and we just have to accept it as fans that this is just how it goes. Because this is the world of professional sports entertainment. So, let me know what you guys think. Like I said, hit me up on Twitter, 3Count Reviews. Leave me some love on here, anchor.fm, 3Count Reviews. Like I said, I'm trying to get this show put on other platforms like iTunes and Spotify. So once that happens, you know, if you're following me on Twitter, or I'll even let you know on here in my next episode and whatnot, if I can get that going. But yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. Let's get the community up. Let's get the community growing. 3Count Reviews on YouTube. I will try to get the episodes up on YouTube or somehow do it another way. I do not have a donation page set up. I do not have a Patreon or anything like that right now. Donations would be great and amazing. I mean, because it would obviously improve how I'm making this show. But I am doing this purely out of love. I'm doing this because I can't get away from professional wrestling. Despite my gripes with WWE or some of the parts of the industry, this is what I grew up loving, and this is what I will die loving. And if you love it too, join me, subscribe, follow, all of that good stuff, all of that jazz. Hit me up on Twitter, like I said. But I'm just here for the love. Obviously, like, if anybody supports the channel in any way, shape, or form, I'll hella give you a shout out. It's all love for me. It's all love over here. So that's my time. Episode 1. I'm your host, JP. This has been 3Count Reviews. Anchor.fm, 3Count Reviews. Twitter.com, 3Count Reviews. And I'll see you in episode 2. I'm going to be going over some AEW stuff and whatnot. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day, y'all.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.